Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage. It's Joshua, Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called partner, but it should be called gangsta time.
What up, Chris? And what's good, everybody listening?
Hell yeah. Brian is also here, our producer, edgelord. Big news, Brian.
なんというビッグニュース
What's up, nerds?
Hey. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Very excited to get into the week in manga this week. We got a fun little lineup here, but before we get into that, we could get into plugs. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole_37, that's on Instagram, and at New Jump City Josh, that's on TikTok and X.
Oh yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, find me at twitch.tv/punchline.
Oh yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us on newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we will talk about it on the pre-show chat show that we do every week. We talk about a bunch of stuff there that's not always related to manga. We talk about sports on there sometimes and other things, and sometimes manga. But yeah, check out that show. Ask us questions that you want answered. Leave some comments, your thoughts on the series. We'll take those as well. We'd love to start a dialogue with our crowd. But yeah, check us out on that. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Not Google Podcasts, they're defunct. Check us out on Pandora, Amazon Music, Castbox,
Yep.
Pocket
Classic
Cast.
Castbox.
We are on so many of these little
Bro,
platforms.
I'm telling you, they really do have to sponsor us. Because I'm pretty sure we have given them so many shout outs.
Well, I mean, technically they are sponsoring us by having us on their platform. So
No, they need to start paying us the big bucks here.
yeah, I mean, that would be nice. Pocket Cast, Castbox, if you guys want to jump on it. We'll take
They're
it.
helping you guys out.
We'll literally take any money. It would be nice. But yeah, all right. Well, that's all the plugs and stuff. Let's get into the show proper. Here we go. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1127, Adventure in the Land of Mystery. We got our cover page chapter for this week as well. Yamato's surrogate pilgrimage. The kidnappings weigh heavily on Dogstorm, daimyo of Kuri. So that's cool. I didn't know he was daimyo now, but yeah.
I think maybe all the vassals are dying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if all the vassals are daimyo now. But yeah, so I guess Yamato is going around trying to find out who's kidnapping people on Wano. And this is just the next stop, reconnecting with Dogstorm. And now we move on to the chapter proper. We open up with a fire where we see all these Viking warriors, which are obviously the giants of Elbaf. And there seems to be a fire that's coming from the forest. And everybody's yelling about how if it spreads to Yggdrasil, the world tree, then the country is finished. And that they should report this to the sun god.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
Somebody
Luffy.
pretending to be Luffy. Imagine Loki is pretending to be Nika.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? We see that the giants are panicking because there's no reason that the stingmores, which are these giant bees, would have fallen from the sky otherwise. So the giants suspect that foul play is going on, that there's a rumbling in the forest, and it was the sound of the ear god collapsing. So something caused a titanic rabbit known as the Ear God, to fall. So, some early mystery being set up in this arc.
Dear God.
We then cut to the Big Stein Castle, where we saw Nami wake up in the previous chapter. We see that she's already defeated a giant bee using Zeus, and she is panicking because she is scared. She's in a new place, and she is just terrified of this. And she's trying to... Yeah, she's trying to run around trying to find her crew, and she hears Usopp's voice, but she trips over one of the little Lego circles that this the spokes, I think that's what they're called, that are covering the floors of the castle, and she sees a little like hedgehog up here or something like that, porcupine. Well, it's not little; it's actually a giant porcupine that gets startled by Nami and spikes up and starts to chase after her. And Nami looks over the ledge to see that Usopp is currently being eaten by a giant cat. And
with a crown.
Yeah, with a crown on it. It's not looking good for Usopp. His body's already halfway in the fucking cat's mouth. Nami uses Zeus to extend and push herself off of the ledge here. She manages to shock the hedgehog and fall over. The lightning from the hedgehog also connects with the cat and electrocutes them both, allowing Usopp to be released. Thank goodness. I see that Usopp is sporting a cool beard now and a mustache.
Classic. This is the second time in a row that his costume is for a new arc. Yeah, gives him a beard.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a fake beard because Usopp does not have this much facial hair.
Yeah, no, it's for sure a fake beard.
But yeah, everybody's running, and they're not everybody. Usopp and Nami are running away from the cat, who is super pissed now. And Nami is starting to think that, you know, they were mentioned about the Green Fairy, which is this beer that makes people hallucinate. And, you know, while they talk about it, they reach the dead end. And Usopp's like, you know what, Nami? You mentioned hallucinations, but maybe that cat is really just a vision and isn't there. Hallucinations can't hurt me. And then it smacks the shit out of Usopp. And Nami's in the corner of the panel going, Usopp, no! But this cat is so strong that it actually breaks the castle walls. And knocks Usopp and Nami out of the building. And they both fall to, I guess, the outside of the castle, where they encounter this gigantic lion. And, you know, the lion's about to attack them. Nami uses Usopp as a shield. I
think that's the same animal.
Yeah, we'll we'll touch on that when it gets revealed, I guess. But the lion attacks, and that's when Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro all come at the same time to save Usopp and Nami. All of them using super cool attack. Luffy uses he calls Gear 4, but this is not Gear 4. I just wanted to point that out. He seems to be using Gear 3.
Yeah, somebody doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, he didn't turn into
Bounce Man.
Big fat person.
Yeah.
So maybe he's a snake version.
Doesn't look like Snake Man, but he doesn't become giant with Snake Man.
Yeah, Snake Man, he
Is
doesn't
he
really
giant
use
now?
Elephant Gun.
No, this is
Elephant
Luffy's
Gun.
regular
No, isn't
form.
Elephant Gun a Gear 4 move or no?
No, it's his third. It's like his third year hockey punch. He's using Elephant Whip, but still, Elephant is when he uses Gear 3rd.
Well, somebody fucked up.
But yeah, they all attack this thing at the same time. It turns into a cat again. So it seems like the cat that was attacking them earlier is now has the ability to turn into a lion for some reason. And we get a 2-page spread with the original 5 all reunited.
Yes.
The OG 5 Straw Hats reunited. And all with new Viking drip. It's pretty sick. And Zora's like, let's turn into a cat. And Luffy mentions that the roast rabbit they had earlier was tasty enough. So these guys were the ones who defeated the ear god. And you know, Sanji's like, Nami, you had me worried. Nami's just like, I was so scared, Sanji. Poor Usopp's dead. And Usopp's like, I'm alive, and I'm gonna remember you used me as a shield. Yeah. But Luffy is like, there's some other huge creatures here too. If they taste good, it might be trouble to whip them up. And Zora's like, no, we should find the crew first. We don't know where everybody is. And Sanji's already thinking about cooking the other animals on the island that they've found so far. And the chapter ends with Nami just being like, why are you all so comfortable here? Where are we? And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 11:27?
Yeah, this was a insane introduction to this new arc. I don't really know what to think other than just, I don't know what to expect moving forward. But this chapter was just really fun. I mean, it just obviously they're in Elbaf. If you can see the tree in the background of where of that castle, which is like really interesting because the castle didn't seem like it was way bigger than them, unless like I don't know, unless I'm looking at it wrong.
Castle's pretty big, but I guess we don't have like an appropriate scale yet.
Yeah, I can't really tell, but like because there's blocks, I feel like this was a castle built by somebody like for smaller people.
Mm.
Oh, for the rest of the world. I don't know why there would be a king cat walking around trying to kill people. What an asshole. And
Honestly, if cats were giant,
that motherfucker digivolve. Huh?
I was about to say, if cats were giant, this is what they would do.
Yeah, you're right. It would mercilessly chase us, mess around with us.
Isn't that what a lion or a tiger is?
Yeah, they do the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, but they also have giant lions, so.
And they have the whole fucking.
Yeah, look at how he's looking down at them. Pissed. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to really say. It was a fun chapter. Brian, you have any thoughts?
You're not gonna rate the. All right, what about Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji's drip? Rate their drip.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, on a 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
Luffy's an 8. Zoro's a 7.
Wow.
Sanji also an 8. Nami is a 9.5. And and Usopp is a 6. I'm not feeling the striped pants, the overalls. I don't know. Isn't that his regular?
He does usually wear overalls or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love I like the helmet that Usopp was wearing. I don't like the fake beard and stuff. I think that's whack.
Yeah, the fake beard doesn't do it for me either.
Yeah, trash. Yeah, none of these designs really no, 8 is good. 8 is really good.
8 is pretty good.
Nami just gets a 9.5 because she's like half naked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So her hair looks nice too, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, so, well, there you go, Brian. I've exposed myself
I
as a creep.
I rate
yeah.
I rate Luffy's.
Happy now?
Just look at it again. I am happy now, actually, Josh. Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. It's my turn for the drip check. All right. Luffy's is a 9 for me. Zoro's is a 7. And Sanji's is a 9 for me as well. Let's see. Where's the full thing of Nami? Okay. Nami is it's not very inspiring. I'll give it a 7. And Usopp, why is he dressed like that? That's a 3.
A 3.
Yeah, I hate it's terrible drip.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with the stripes too, to be honest. And the pants are so fucking bubbly for what? What about you, Chris?
I really, it's hard to tell exactly, but I mean, because Luffy's is cool. We don't get a really good look at it, but it fits him. It works out. It looks really cool. I'd give him as a 9 as well. I feel like I'm higher on Zoro's fit than you guys are. I'm like at a 8 territory with Zoro.
Wow.
I said 7.
Yeah. Brian said
Did I also
six.
say 7?
The goggles is the goggles is like pulling a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It's not.
I don't
goggles,
love,
it's a mask. It's like a visor kind of thing.
The visor is doing a lot for the outfit. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the visor, it could easily be like a 5, 5.5, 6. I mean,
Yeah.
what is this hockey drawstring in the middle? I don't care if that's Viking shit. It's whack.
He's also got a cool cape with shoulder pads.
It's fluffy. Whack.
That's not whack. Fluffy.
It looks like a blanket.
This is a fur. He's
That shit looks like a throw blanket, bro.
Bro.
Like you about to take a nap and cuddle. Tell me I'm lying.
That's mad comfortable. What you talking about?
Right?
What are you doing? What are you
And-
trying to do? Sell me on this more?
Remember, all right, y'all all watched Avatar. Remember
Mhm.
the episode when Aang was having those weird ass nightmares and daydreams and shit?
Yeah.
Okay, remember, spoilers for everyone that haven't watched Avatar. Y'all should watch it. But they made that bed for him out of the wool. That's what they took the excess of that and made it for Zoro. They sent that shit to Elbaf 13 years ago. And now Zoro has it. So I can't take it seriously, Chris. I'm sorry.
Mm. Well, I'll say this. I feel like in the next chapter, when we get a full body look at these guys, it'll change your mind a little more. Once you see it in action.
I liked his Onigashima raid fit better.
Hmm. Sanji, I'll give a 9. It really matches his personality. He's the knight in shining armor.
I'm willing to bump up Sanji to an 8.5. I figured, it would look better in action too. And you see, his cape doesn't look like a Snuggie, like fucking commercial or something.
That's
like
not
that.
bad. That's not a bad thing.
Fucking fabric softener. God.
I bet Zoro's more comfortable than Sanji.
That may be
Now,
so,
Now is
but that
this
does not
better-
result in a high rating.
Hmm.
Are these fits better than in their previous fits.
What, the
on,
egghead?
Yeah, on Egghead.
Mm,
Honestly, I didn't really like Sanji's fit on.
I didn't mind Sanji's fit. You know, it's out of it's out of his comfort zone. He's usually a suit and tie guy, more refined, but it was cool to see him
Yeah,
more.
that's probably why it felt so weird seeing
It
him.
grew on me.
Yeah, I liked it.
I like the what was it, like the Hawaiian shirt, right?
Yeah, he had a Hawaiian shirt on and shorts. He doesn't usually wear these kind of things, so it was cool to see him in that.
This is definitely an upgrade for Zoro, though.
I like Zoro's. You know what? The egghead fits were underrated. Pretty
I
damn.
like Luffy's fit in Egghead, but I feel like Luffy always has a good like, you know, he has a good thing going every
Frankie
time.
had a great fit. I think his color design on his outfit in Egghead was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
he
forget
needed
what
a
he
good
had.
design because his fit during the Wano arc was true trash.
It was not trash.
I hated his hair.
He had what did he have? He had a hat on the whole time. He had like a samurai helmet during the Onigashima raid.
Who, Frankie?
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Guess
yeah,
I'm
those are my
remembering
thoughts for
things
One Piece.
differently.
Those are all your thoughts for One Piece, Brian? Just the fit check?
Yeah, man, this is very important. It's probably the most important chapter of the year so far.
Well, I guess I'll give my thoughts. This was my RGC.
Wow.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
It was still early days into the Elbaf arc. You know, but I do love these little like opening mystery type chapters where we're trying to figure out the island. The crew is like put in a very mysterious situation and we slowly start to put the pieces together. And this is a very interesting one because Luffy's already taken down a god since walking onto this island. I feel like they're going to be a little bit at odds with the people of Elbaf for a second because they're walking around just beating things up.
Yeah,
that'll
they're
be
gonna love Luffy. Wait, no, it's a warrior nation. There's no way they're not gonna be like, yo, this guy just be fucking up our gods. Yo, let's fucking go. That's him.
That's what I'm
Timothy
saying is that
Jones.
they're gonna be at odds with the Straw Hats. So
What does at odds mean?
you know, like
Is that negative or
yeah, it's
positive?
negative.
No, they're gonna be pogging.
They're not gonna be pogging, Brian.
Yes, they are gonna be pogging. Yes, they are.
What the?
They're a warrior nation. They're gonna be pogging.
They're already like, what the hell's going on? Someone's setting fire to our shit.
They should be like, man, this guy is different.
Well, I don't
You
know
know
who's
what I
doing.
mean?
Yeah, I don't really know what to expect either. I mean, I would expect them to welcome the Straw Hats. They'd be like, "Oh, these guys, these big monsters attacked us," and they're like, "Oh, little warriors, ha ha. Let's drink more." And that'll be the whole arc. Drink, drink, drink. And Loki will do
Drink,
something
drink.
sneaky.
I think at the very least,
Loki will do something sneaky. Luffy's gonna smack the shit out of him. Zoro's gonna say, "Wouldn't do that if I were you." And then that's gonna be it, you know?
that's your big prediction for Elbaf.
Lickety split.
And then Shanks is
Ah.
gonna show up. Like the rat bastard that he is. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I love Shanks.
But yeah, I enjoyed this chapter quite a bit. It was cool to see. I wonder how they even got in the castle because they ended up in the castle, but Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji were in the woods. So how did that happen?
I don't know.
They're
they
fast.
Yeah, they just got up immediately, started fucking around. I'm just curious how they got here.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they just got
Yeah,
drunk
big
and
mystery.
then walked in here.
Yeah. So apparently the
While the rest of the crew haven't made it there yet.
yeah, the rest of the crew is still on the boat. It's the OG5 and Chopper's somewhere here. Because Chopper's not on the boat.
Oh yeah, where is Chopper? I just realized. Maybe they think he's like one of their gods.
That'd be hilarious.
They put him somewhere else. Because honestly, like his monster chopper form could be
It's the reindeer god.
a pretty big deal. Yeah, actually, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Imagine it's Chopper's arc instead of Usopp's.
Yeah.
Hell.
That would be incredible.
What, you wouldn't fuck with that, Josh? I guess he wouldn't.
Oh, I didn't rate Usopp and Nami's fits. Nami's fit is pretty much what she wears everywhere. Just like a 2-piece bikini or something. But this one's cooler, I guess, because it's got that Viking feel. Usopp's, I guess I'm at a 5. I don't hate it. The beard is what threw me off, but everything else is like fine. It's like, who would put a fake beard on Usopp?
I just feel like it's just the pants. The pants don't do it for me, or the overalls just don't do it for me.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Maybe I did need to see it more in action.
Like he's jacking Sai's whole flow.
There's some inconsistencies in this chapter that has the streets wilding.
Oh shit. Christian has the report from the streets.
Yeah, because people are commenting on like the weird inconsistencies with the art and Luffy saying gear 4th when he meant gear 3rd.
What happened?
And you know how Nami has a sword in some panels and some in not, and how Luffy has a sword in one panel, but then he has an axe in the very next panel.
Yeah.
And people were like, is this Loki's powers? Just messing with reality?
Oh wait, that kind of makes sense. Or maybe they're still hallucinating.
I don't know. But you know,
I didn't even think about that.
Luffy definitely has a sword in that big 2-page spread panel where he's sitting on top of the cat. And then his introductory panel, he has an axe.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be like Oda to make so many mistakes.
I would probably be in the camp that, hey, maybe it's just a mistake. You know, like there's corrections he makes all the time in the volumes. He even points them out sometimes in the SBS where he's like, this was a mistake in the original print, but I fixed it for the volume. So it's entirely possible that these are just like an off day, that he just didn't draw the sword every time, and he just decided mid panel drawing, he was like, Luffy should actually just have a cool axe.
Fuck it, give him an axe.
But we'll see. Maybe it is Loki's powers.
That would be sick if it's like a story element.
Yeah, people are thinking it's a story element.
What did they say with Nami? They said she has a sword and then has a what?
She has no sword in some panels, and sometimes it's there.
Oh yeah, it's not there on the last panel. Wow, there's an inconsistency within the same page.
Mm-hmm.
The sword and the axe. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's crazy to miss that. I didn't even pay attention to that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a blink and you miss it type of thing. I didn't even notice until like I saw like a post pointing it out.
How about Brian? You
What?
knew? You knew it when you first seen it?
No, I didn't even notice.
Well, that's all I gotta say about One Piece, really. I really enjoyed this chapter, though. It was a lot of fun, and I'm very intrigued by the mystery of the island. Do we have any rebuttals, or shall we move onward?
We shall move onward.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Then onward we shall move.
ブラッディ・クロス
Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days chapter 183, Joe Shackles. Last we left off with Sakamoto Days, we are in the JAA prison, and Shin has been stirring up trouble fighting with Boiled, who is also in the JAA prison. They got into a fight that was broken up by the head jailer of this floor of the JAA. His name is Joe Shackles. He's cool, and he is Crash Out Captain. He's just like a sick and twisted kind of weirdo guy who uses handcuffs as his primary weapon. It's pretty sick. So he beats the shit out of Shin, and Shin tries to cause trouble, so he gets sent to the bottom of the prison where the fortune teller is. But Joe Shackles disregards him so much that he's like, even with you trying to fight me, you're like no trouble at all. So there's no reason for me to send you down to the bottom floor. And we start off this chapter with the boys in the shower. Shin is pissed off because he just got mollywopped by Joe Shackles. And Boiled is like, forget it, kid. He's out of your league. And he explains that Joe Shackles used to be in the JAA Special Detachment Unit, which was a counterterrorism unit that was like one level below the Order, and he was pretty much the closest in that organization to reaching the Order status. He was also once at the top of the this assassin is amazing ranking. So this guy's a big deal. And, Heisuke asks, is like, wait, why is he a prison guard now? And Boiled is like, I don't know, but if you ain't tough enough to beat him or me, then you ain't got no business down below. So he goes off. He's like, you little punks are morons. Why'd you even come to this place? And Shin tells him it's to get stronger. And he's like, well, you can't be strong if you ain't alive. Ain't no use if you get killed. I can't help you. And he's like, weird. He's not hard-boiled at all. And I'm like, hey, I disagree. That was a very hard-boiled answer. We then cut back to the bottom level, where the fortune teller is, Atari, her name is. And she asked one of the guards to give her his hand. And she puts out a cigarette on his hand. And he's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, because your palms were unlucky, so I altered them for you. And then all of a sudden, he gets a call on his phone. And all of a sudden, he gets news that his grandmother's hernia got better. And he won first prize in the lottery.
Damn.
All because she put out a cigarette on his hand. That's crazy.
Me next.
For real, I'll take a cigarette burnt to the hand for $1 million and my grandmother's hernia getting better. And, she, one of the other guards says, you look glum, Miss Atari. And she's like, I saw a bad future. Today, at least 3 lives will be lost in this prison. And cut to the 3 lives in the most danger, Shin, Boiled, and Heisuke. They are in this weird freezer area, and Joe Shackles is standing there with them. He's like, cold, isn't it? Sorry, it pains me to punish you, but that's law and order. Without them, there's no peace. And he says, but don't worry, all you have to do is transport all of this freight by hand. It's minus 30 degrees Celsius in here, so you better hurry or you'll freeze to death. Rough.
Wow.
So, yeah, 2 other, I guess, prisoners are talking. And they're like, the head guard's really got his eye on him today. He's like, those boneheads could die if they ain't lucky. And, he's basically laughing at them. And then fucking Joe Shackles pulls up from behind him, stabs this guy in the shoulder, and starts yelling. It's like, why aren't you cheering on your friends? He's like so close. Look at the way his nose is aligned over him.
You see the vein under his eye? He's really upset.
I can't get over how close he is. His nose is touching this guy's nose.
He pulled up out of nowhere.
I laughed so hard when I first saw this.
This guy is not even reacting to the fucking knife in his shoulder.
He's like... He
And tells
actually
them,
just shit on-
That's right. That's the team spirit.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, so as Shin is watching this, we see Heisuke fall to the ground. He is becoming hypothermic, so he's asking to let Heisuke out. And Joe is like, no can do. And he's like, please, if he loses, he's a sniper. If he loses his fingers to frostbite. And Joe just comes out of nowhere. It's just like, say there were two bad guys. A person was weak, so he got light punishment. And person B was strong, so he got tortured. That's what you're proposing. Punishments have to be fair, or they're meaningless. And Shin yells about how like Heisuke didn't do anything, and he'll do his share of the work. And then he starts again with like a new like hypothetical, and Boyle just tells him to drop it because if we don't get this done quickly, Heisuke's gonna die for sure. But Shin is not down for that. He takes off his jacket and he wraps Heisuke in it. But then Joe Shackle gets pissed and kicks him in the face and sends him flying.
Yeah, Hudson, like that was an epic kick.
Yeah. And he's like, "Why must you disobey? If you give me if you give me a mouth sore from stress, you'll pay for it." Not only that, he managed to somehow handcuff this guy to the bars several times over. He has like 5 handcuffs on him. And he's like, "Now you can't do anything. Cool your head off, shinny boy. Don't talk back to me or I'll kill you."
He tells the guard that. After he said, like, yo,
oh,
like,
yeah,
he's gonna die. Like,
yeah, he's gonna die like that. He's like, "Don't talk back to me or I'll kill
he
you."
can tell the guard, don't talk. Yeah, that's great.
So he looks over to
This is only the first level of the prison, too, right?
Yep. He says, "You guys are bringing each other down. It's kind of like when your grades suffer because you're palling around with your good-for-nothing friends." And then Shin just gets pissed and he uses his ESP to make somebody stop. And then one guy stops and then he bumps into another guy who also stops and bumps into another guy and causes some kind of domino effect to the guys as they all fall and knock over one of the shelves, which knocks over some more shelves that land on Joe Shackles. And
One
Joe
would say that was very unluck.
Yeah, that was literally kind of unluck. And fucking Joe Shackles is spitting up blood because all of this fucking shit is just falling on him. And Joe Shackles is pissed. He's like, "What did you do, you little snot?" He's like, "How could I do anything? You fell on your own, you clumsy loser."
Damn.
That was pretty sick. And that's the end of the chapter. Josh, what did you think about Sakamoto Days chapter 183?
I got 2 things to say. One, this guy's, if he's not dead, he's definitely paralyzed from the waist down at the very least. 2, this is the RGC.
Oh.
Yeah,
RGC certified RGC.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Chris, I'm actually very surprised.
Wow. Go on.
This was so funny.
Yeah, I laughed out loud earlier when he pulled up on the other guard from. He didn't even have to. He just stabbed his shoulder. Like he. All right, let's go back because he's so extra. That's really the best way to put it. So these guys were talking amongst themselves, right? This guy was like, what do you call that? Lecturing these other kids, right? These 3 dudes who was like freezing. And he pops up behind him and just pokes. Like he stabs his shoulder, but he really just kind of gives him a little poke. You know what I'm saying?
That is no, that is like the
I don't
half of the knife
understand.
is in his shoulder.
Yeah.
He did not poke him. He stabbed him viciously at an angle.
All right, that's a stab, but I
Look
thought
at
it
that
would go all
face
the
as
way,
he's stabbing him.
Yeah. And then he screams at him.
It's a closest. It's so funny.
Yo, so I didn't want to bring this up just to like laugh about it because we already did, like, you know, when we covered the chapter, but this is obviously one of the reasons why Sakamoto Days is so good. We talked about it in Undead Unluck, where, like, you know, some authors have a really good ability to make characters very likable, like give them a lot of personality and charm. That even if you're not around them for a long time, it's, you know, they're memorable. In Sakamoto Days, that happens with multiple people every arc. Even some goons are memorable because of the way they get caught up, like when they're fighting against Sakamoto or something. So we may not ever see this Joe Shackles dude again, and that's fine. Fuck him. He's terrible. I mean,
But God, is he the funniest character in this series so
He's-
far?
he has great team morale, but he's also a masochist. So be in no leadership role. So if he died after several what are those shipment containment units
Yeah.
fall? There's times I hold, you know, like when you read, like, obviously manga, fiction, whatever, right? You gotta have a suspension of disbelief. There's no fucking way he gets out of this intact, right? Come on, this isn't Sukuna or something. It's not. This
Imagine.
ain't one of the five elders from One Piece. This is just a human being.
He seems pretty tough.
If he can still use his legs in the next chapter, I'm gonna be really upset.
No, you won't.
It's gonna shatter that thin line where I'm gonna look at it and be like, nah.
Well,
I
he's
don't
not going to
think
be in.
so.
It'd be weird for the plot that he's just suddenly in a wheelchair for the rest of the series.
Well, I think that would be great. Actually, I think that would be if the next chapter opened up with him saying, "You know what? I was doing a lot. I'm sorry, guys. What is it you're trying to do?" And he's in a wheelchair speaking the whole time. That would be just perfect.
That would be honestly very funny. Where he's just suddenly super apologetic. He's like, "I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know what I was on."
I need Joe Shackles to be.
Sorry, man. The stabbing into the shoulder was a little excessive.
You know what? I've been doing a lot. You know, I've just been stressed out.
This job has me driving up the wall. You know what I mean?
They're gonna call him Joe Wheels.
Joey Wheeler.
Yeah.
Mr. Wheeler. Mr. Anderson.
Those are my thoughts on the chapter, though. I loved it. Brian.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably. Yeah, I forget. No, I definitely laughed at in a manga like fairly recently, but I feel like I haven't had like a good hearty laugh like I did reading this chapter in a while. Because it was just so fucking insanely over dramatic for no reason. And this is why I love this series so much, because you just tune in for a good fucking time. I say this every week and it feels like I'm a broken record, but this is legit like the ultimate vibes fucking anime or manga. Like,
More than Down?
yeah.
Wow.
Because it just doesn't, this series doesn't really take itself seriously at all. Even in the serious moments, it's not taking itself very seriously. So it's just you just have fun, man. You just sit down, you expect some crazy shit to happen. Like you cannot predict what's gonna happen in Sakamoto Days. Like you legit cannot. Like who would have thought that we would have ended up in a fucking prison arc with a dude named Joe Shackles who fucks people up with handcuffs? Like, come on. That is just incredible shit.
It encourages the other cellmates to believe in each other and support each other. You know, actually, now that I think about it, Joe Shackles is like,
He's a hero.
I think that's what people think like prison is actually like. He's the personification. Like you got to go through this rough and tough situation. It's really cruel to pay for what you did, but in the end, once you're released from prison, you're gonna be a better person to society and learn your lesson. That's what Joe Shackles does. Although that's not what really happens in actual society.
Joe Shackles inspires hope.
That's what he's punishing you for your crimes, but making sure you become a better person after it. See, I don't hate Joe Shackles.
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with his methods, but I guess you can say he does. That argument can be made. I couldn't tell you no. Well, not straight up like that. Joe Shackles, the fighting for radical systemic change in prisons. Would have thought.
Vote for him.
Those are your thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, those are all my thoughts.
Oh,
I beat you to it, Chris.
I really enjoyed this chapter. I thought it was super fun as well. Honestly, I appreciate it more when we were talking about it. But yeah, this was really funny. And Joe Shackles is such a fun addition. It is, like Josh said, this is like something that Sakamoto does really well. It blends like the actual high stakes of the story with just really fun characters and antagonists and protagonists and stuff like that. So, this is just like an absurd situation, but the stakes are actually really high. Like there's a very serious goal going on here, but it's all surrounded in this really charming, funny thing that makes it entertaining to read. So yeah. I'm having a great time with this prison arc. It is kind of everything I wanted it to be. I'm excited to see how they go. I wonder if there's just going to be multiple levels of guys like Joe Shackle. And until we get to the bottom.
A bunch of Joe Shackle clones.
Yeah, there's only one Joe Shackles. And he's out here reimagining, rebuilding the military prison, the prison industrial complex.
I imagine. Oh, sorry, my bad.
That's it. That's all I had. What were we gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna add to that, like saying, like I imagine, like the second floor is probably where the real bad criminals are, and the third floor is like special cases, because obviously that fortune teller person wasn't a downright evil person, but they're a special case because they can see the future. So it's probably like other people like them. So I'm willing to bet the second level is probably run by like prison bosses and shit.
Yeah, she was sent down there specifically because she was sent down there specifically because she wasn't helping the order. Like her predictions went bad, so for whatever reason they decided to punish her.
Head of the JSA is really mean.
Yeah, it's a bad guy move.
I mean, well, yeah, but he's shown to be that guy. He really doesn't care about anybody. Rather disgusting.
Disgusting.
But I guess ready to move on, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. I had a great time reading this, and I'm excited for more. Ready to move on as well. Here we go.
Yeah, Shen for the win.
Shen for the win.
Tell that pussy clot girl me know what.
Jujutsu Kaisen. This is the penultimate chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think there's one more, isn't there?
Yeah, the penultimate means second to last.
Oh.
Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 270. The end of the dream. Okay, so we're getting a lot of wrap up, a lot of tying of loose ends regarding the culling game and the whole Sukuna, how they defeated Sukuna. We basically got a play-by-play recap of how they were able to defeat Sukuna last chapter, and we are getting a little bit more of some rebuild stuff in this chapter. We open this chapter with Ieri and Megumi finally putting together the Fushiguro family grave. So I figure that means it's Toji and Sumiki. So they were able to bury Megumi's relatives. Ieri was the one who prepped their bodies and was like, I should have handled that. Geto too, that idiot. She's like, not that I believe in the afterlife though. So she goes off and they start talking. Fushiguro gets a call, and I guess she throws her cigarettes out. So I guess Shoko's quitting cigarettes. Good for her.
Yay!
Yeah, don't smoke, kids. It's bad for your lungs.
You wouldn't smoke a car, would you?
Is that something people say?
Huh.
No, it's a thing on the piracy thing.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't steal a car.
No, you wouldn't steal a house. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, no, they did that whole thing. Don't steal movies. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a house. Don't steal
I would do
music.
both of those things if I had the chance to get away with it.
So don't steal music. Don't download Napster. These are really old ads. So okay, so
quit cigarettes.
Yeah, she quit cigarettes. That corpse that fucking Sukuna ate, that was Tengen, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so it wasn't Sukuna's own remains that he ate. He ate Tengen.
Yeah, he got the merger thing.
Is that what that was? I don't know, man. Anyway.
Yeah, so Kenjaku sent the merger to Sukuna,
Mm-hmm.
who was in Megumi, and that's what that was all about.
Okay, I'm more asking, you remember that one scene where Sukuna finds a dead body and eats it? Was that his dead body?
Oh no, that was his.
Okay.
That was his dead body, yeah. That was his workaround.
Yeah, it helped him get to almost max level.
Okay.
That's what I know we're kind of going on a little bit tangent here, but that's what kind of annoys me about the Gojo versus Sukuna discourse. It's right, Sukuna wasn't at full strength, but he was damn near close, and he had Maharaga. I don't think Sukuna's beating Gojo without Maharaga, period.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but
Well, Gojo said that he didn't
even.
He said he didn't really even need Maharaga, which I don't know how else he's supposed to.
I don't know. Right, I don't know why he would say that.
It's because
of the barriers.
Did you not see what Sukuna was when he actually
but he
sicko mode?
Yeah, if he was able to have the cursed stomach to talk and the extra hands, I guess that would have helped a whole lot. But he had Maharaga with him. That's a whole nother person that's adapting to the person, to the other dude's techniques. He only won the barrier. He didn't As a matter of fact, Gojo won the barrier battle. It was just that right when he was about to finish him off, Maharaga met the conditions.
Yeah, no, but all right. So this is my thought process for it. Sukuna was using 10 shadows to make himself better at the end of the day. I don't think Sukuna really wanted to end the fight as fast as possible. He wanted to find a way to get past the infinity, right? So it's Sukuna is a very what is it? He's not super competitive in the fact that he wants to just end fights, wants to continuously get better. He's like LeBron James.
Yeah, I think he took Megumi's
Right.
power specifically so he could have Maharaga. But who's to say?
Yeah, I think that was his contingency to deal with Gojo, but we could probably talk about that more later.
Yeah. So we get the idea that Tengen's absorbed vestiges were left with in Sukuna's domain, which were stripped from Fushiguro. So Megumi does not have whatever Sukuna absorbed from Tengen. It's in Sukuna's remain, and they're using Sukuna's remains to substitute as substitute for Tengen's barrier. So they're using Sukuna's body, his weird Jello corpse, to hold up Tengen's barrier for a while until they could find up with another way to uphold his barrier. And they say, and Gakuganji, the other principal, is like, "Do not rush. You are all still young." We get this panel of this family. I don't know who this family is, but
One of the Cullen game members. I don't know.
I have no idea. I can't really tell. But in any case, Gakuganji is like, it will be all right. And then we cut over to Maki, who has reunited with the katana guy and the sumo guy. And she explains that there's still the issue of the remaining fully fleshed culling game players that are still around. And, they've got to recover the players from the American military that were abducted in the confusion. So, she's enlisting their help in that, I guess. But eventually they'll also have to be extracted using Yuji and Hana's powers to separate the reawakened sorcerers from the people that they inhabit. So yeah, she's just giving, I guess, the katana man and the sumo guy a sporting chance there. And katana guy is like, Maki, make sure you come when it's time for me to go. I'll take you on. And Maki's like, sure. That sounds kind of cool, I guess. We see that Charles is now a manga artist. So, that's cool. He's following his dream, I guess. We see shock of the chapter that Takaba is alive.
Nice.
And not just
I thought he was a goner.
Huh?
Takaba didn't die.
Well, it seemed
like he wasn't.
Where was he?
No, he was just chilling. He was just vibing after his whole thing with Kenjaku.
That's what I wanted to believe too. I wanted to reserve the thought that maybe he was, he might have been dead, so that I wasn't like really sad.
Yeah, but why the fuck was he just not in the final fight?
Because he went to take care of Kenjaku.
Okay.
Yeah, but Akotsu came back.
Yeah, but Akotsu is different. Akotsu was more integral to the plan.
I don't know. Takaba is a reality warping sorcerer.
Yeah, but Sukuna, say Sukuna finds out how to beat it, because Kenjaku found out.
Well, that's not much different from anybody else.
So Sukuna would figure it out.
Sukuna figured out everybody else who was fighting.
Yeah, exactly. But if he Takaba is actually really weak to Sukuna, because if Sukuna finds out how it works, he could just be like, yo, you're only, you don't even know how strong you are. And then he's fucked. You know what I mean? Like, if he finds out how strong he is, it's over. Isn't that how it works?
Well,
basically.
No, it has to be based on what he thinks is funny. And the awareness of that is, what makes it weak. But the thing is that he's always just doing what he thinks is funny. I don't know. I feel like there's no reason.
Maybe his curse technique got burned out by the end of that fight with Kenjaku. I'm willing to
maybe. I'll take
Say
that,
that
but I wish they said it. Because he's just here.
Yeah.
And not only is he here, there's somebody there that looks suspiciously like Geto.
Yeah, right.
They're
He
talking.
does.
They're talking about jokes, and I guess they're about to, like, they're having dinner or something and talking about jokes, and I guess they're leaving to, they're going to pay and stuff. And this person looks like Geto. We don't see his face because it's covered a lot. But what does this mean? What does any of this fucking mean? But anyway, we get that one guy, the sugar curse technique guy. He goes up to one of the kids that he used to bully and that Yuji defended way back in the day when they were in junior high, and he apologizes. This kid gives him the sourest face on the planet and walks away. So, he goes, oh man, I need to straighten out my life. And that's his thing. We get a little bit from Higuruma saying that there were no charges pressed from the murder in the courthouse he did right before the Culling Games. And it's
The mass murder.
yeah. And it's probably because the Jujutsu headquarters applied pressure to get him exonerated so that they could use him as a sorcerer. Yeah, so I guess Higuruma is going to be a Jujutsu sorcerer from now on.
He's gonna be the best jujutsu lawyer of all time.
Bro, I mean, everybody's impressed of how good he was for only having his curse technique for a couple months. So, imagine the full potential of Higuruma. If he actually learned how to fight with his technique and all that stuff. This was him as a relative non-combatant.
Yeah, he probably would have been able to do more damage to Sukuna if he actually knew how to fucking throw hands.
Yeah. So,
I feel like he'd be a Kusakabe-esque kind of character. I feel like he's going to be like a Kusakabe-esque kind of sorcerer.
Yeah. He'll probably be like a student somehow for someone. Someone will have to teach him stuff.
It's going to be Toto.
But then we get back to Megumi and Hana and the angel. Angel is like, since Sukuna made a move for that, Fushigoro's memories of you have already been restored. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Like, we know that was Sukuna and not you. But, Megumi still feels bad, and he said he'll take responsibility. From now on, I'll be your right arm. And Angel and Hana is like, when's the ceremony? And he's like, well, that's not what I meant. We have a mission, so let's talk later. So we then cut over to some new characters we haven't met before. This lady walks into her apartment, and she goes up to her boyfriend and is like, hey, can we eat out again tonight? And he's like, sure. He turns around. He's got these ginormous eyes. And he's like, how about yakiniku? And we cut back to Ijichi explaining who the victim is. So his name is Sota Fukuzawa.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he is still alive. He said his fiance changed 2 weeks ago, and now it's fine. Like, by the time they get to his place to check him out, his eyes have been restored. And he looks like a normal professional wrestling trainee. And Itadori's like, you're well built. You work out? He's like, I did wrestling until high school. And they're like chopping it up about working out. But he's like, hey, this is what his girlfriend says he looks like. So I guess she sees him as that, but he does not look like that. If that makes sense. Because they say that this is what his girlfriend says he looks like. And she's like, wait, is it me then? Am I seeing him this way because of whatever? And Nobara takes her away to examine her body. And they explain that, it's like I said, the effect of the residuals are just a little pesky. So it's probably not a cursed spirit. It's probably an awakened Culling Game player. So, of course, a semi-grade high 1 or higher cursed spirit is involved for some reason and just holding back. Then a chase could result in damages. And Itadori is like, a curse user stirring up trouble? That could be a cinch for the three of us. And that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 270?
Damn. There's one more chapter after this. That's the only thing I could think about. If there was ever a series I was praying for a part 2, it would be this one. Just whatever. Let me talk about the chapter. So, as far as the loose ends getting tied up, I mean, I'm really interested in not Kenjaku, what looks like Ghetto being there with the comedian dude. Could just be somebody that looks like him, or someone
It could be.
that he forced to dress like him to help with his comedy act or whatever. So he made him like have the same hairstyle and same clothes he thinks he would wear. I don't know. They both have the same outfit on. I think they both have the shirt with the long sleeves under it. So, yeah. It could just be someone that has the same hair as Ghetto. It would be really weird if we need more context for this. It can't just do that. You can't just do this. This has to be a point that's fleshed out in the next chapter. No doubt. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I'm kind of. I feel with grief. When you go to the first page of this chapter, it's Megumi and healer chick.
Yeri.
By the just standing by the tombstone, and like that's Jujutsu Kaisen, the tombstone. I'm watching and paying my respects right now. Like, damn. And I'm trying not to be annoyed because it ends with them like about to go on this little like mission / mystery. It's like, why can't we just keep getting more? Why can't this start a new arc? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't mean, last 5 chapters before I take a break. Ha ha. Not the end of the series. I just need like 6 months vacation and I'll come back. That'd be lit. But I think I'm in make-believe land right now. So I'm going to pass this over to Brian.
I'm not ready for the series to end, man. Keep it going forever, please. But I guess that just goes to show how good of a series JJK is. Because if you don't want it to end, that means it should end at some point,
There's more cursed stuff out there. It could be cursed stuff in other countries, bro. The Americans have sorcerers now. They're gonna try to create cursed people. So much shit can happen.
Or Gege ends the series and then joins the Hunter x Hunter staff.
If he takes over drawing for Hunter x Hunter, maybe that's why he's ending it.
Yeah, imagine those two together would be like it would be on par with the Bible with how much reading you would have to do with every chapter.
Yeah.
Every chapter would be like 500 pages of just straight
I would
explanation.
probably die from a heart attack and then rise on the 3rd day to read the chapter.
Die on a Friday,
Continue living.
get resurrected on a Sunday, just in time for the new chapter.
Yes. See that communion training delivered.
Yeah, I know. I know things about. That's why Jesus did it. He didn't want to miss the new chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen.
True.
Facts.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess I keep trying to recruit mangaka to draw Hunter x Hunter for Tagashi because taking too long for him to make chapters.
Yeah, we'll probably only get like 10 chapters and then it'll be over again.
Please don't say that. Why
Sometimes
don't they
you gotta,
just make it like a bi? I would take them like bi-monthly.
yeah, it can
Just
work
as long
on
as you get something.
it can work on Black Clover schedule. You know, Black Clover comes out every 3 months.
You might be honest.
Wow.
I never
Doesn't
understood
Black
why he
Clover
didn't do
release
that.
2 chapters?
Hmm?
Black Clover releases 2 chapters every 3 months, right?
No, just one big chapter every 3 months.
Interesting. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed this chapter a lot. I am also in the morning a little bit. It's kind of weird, you know, like to have series drop so much. It feels like the shortest recorded time between the series that we've covered all ending. Jujutsu Kaisen, man, it's gonna be weird. You know, for a story that's ending next chapter, it certainly doesn't feel that way. You
Yeah,
know?
it feels like they could go for like a few more chapters.
Like, yeah, I guess things are closing, but they're still like mysteries, kinda. So, like, I feel like
Yeah.
the Takaba thing is just like, why would you leave that open ended as to who that is next to him? Is that Geto? Is it not? Why are you making it a
But
mystery?
tell me that's not just classic
Right.
fucking Gege though.
It is classic Gege.
No.
Yes, it is.
He explains everything.
No,
Until he doesn't.
He explains everything until there's something that he just feels like not explaining.
I'll
for
tell you
some
what.
reason.
There's only two paths. Gege operates on two extremes. He's either explaining everything in excruciating detail, or he explains nothing and lets you figure it the fuck out. Like, he'll either show you one panel that builds something up for later and then just never addresses it vocally, or he spends 3 pages explaining something.
True. Classic Gege.
So we'll have to see.
You have a rebuttal, Josh? Looks like he doesn't.
Nope. Yeah, no, I enjoyed this chapter. You know, the way this series is ending, you get a startling suspicion that there's going to be a part 2. You just get a vibe. But
I'm just wondering what would a part 2 even like be about.
I heard somebody
Lots of
I've heard the streets speculate that it's going to be like the War of the Families. Like the big like the big families that now that Gojo's dead and the Zenin are gone, that there's going to be like a weird scramble for power. But I don't know. I don't buy it.
Yeah, like why would Yuji give a fuck about that?
Yeah.
Unless the series just follows Megumi now.
Imagine. Itadori's like, well, I'm done. I did my thing.
Honestly, I feel like this series can't end without Megumi having something. You know what I mean? Because it feels like he would like him being not present for the entirety of this final arc is like probably the biggest hit.
Well, he was technically present. It was his body they were fighting.
Yeah, but he wasn't really contributing.
What do you mean? He did that one thing where he made Sukuna trip.
Yeah, that's about it. It's kind of, you know, he didn't really have his actual hoorah. Everybody had something, and his is only, oh, I made you a feety, go into water.
Yo, he summoned the elephant on a receipt, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Megumi had a really cool final fight against Reggie-Star.
Yeah, but
he used his domain, his special summons. He played Yu-Gi-Oh on that nigga, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
think about it.
If there is a little part 2 after this, centered around Megumi, I wouldn't be against it. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm. Well, I suppose
Those
we'll
are my
have to
thoughts.
see. Maybe next week the chapter will end with that was the end of Jujutsu Kaisen Part 1.
I'll be a very happy person.
Yeah. You know how Chainsaw Man ended, the first time.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest debate of all time.
The biggest what?
Oh, have I never used debate?
No, what is that?
Wait, you guys don't know what a debate is?
A debate?
I'd like to hear you explain it.
I don't know
What do
that
you
is.
guys think it is?
Like
I
getting
don't know.
invaded.
Yeah, right?
I don't know the specific.
So it's a Twitch emote called debate, and it's when somebody does like a fake out, something like that. You know what I mean? That's what a debate is.
I did not know that.
Debated.
That happens a lot in fighting games
Yeah, exactly.
and in Valorant. Can you get debated in Valorant?
Yeah, you can. It's almost.
Do you do that to people?
Do I debate people? Yeah, when I play Yoru.
When you
debate the
play
fuck
what?
out of people. Yoru.
What's Yoru?
I lock in Yoru. I walk up. I send my clone. My clone walks up, and then I walk up with my clone. And then they're like, "Oh shit, they're attacking A." And then I secretly placed the teleportation towards C. And then when I started pushing and fighting, I kill one, and then I teleport to C, and they all think they're there. That we're it.
Wow.
Debated.
Debated.
Wow, that was a different language.
Well, you're not cultured in the Valorant.
I've never played Valorant.
All right, I'll show you the ropes
Okay.
if you insist.
Yeah. I'll come over. You teach me Valorant.
I'll show you the ropes.
Get ready to be debated.
Jabation. Jabate Nation.
Yeah. Well, anyway, those are all my thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen. Are we ready to move on to the next one?
Sir.
Alrighty, and here we go. Kagurabachi. With that, I'm going to pass this one over to Josh.
Right. Kagurabachi, chapter number 50, interception, which Dak Prescott did not throw
He did not throw.
last game.
He did not throw any interceptions. Neither did
That's
Daniel
probably why the
Jones,
game
right?
wasn't- No, he didn't. I don't think he did. Did he
DJ Danny Dimes.
A fumble though, right?
Did he fumble?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Well, anyway, Kagurabachi, chapter 50, right? Last chapter, shit was getting real. Chihiro and his friend is on a mission to protect the contracted swordsman with the special swords his father made. They cannot be killed because if they are killed, then the evildoers who have the swords in their possession can use the swords once the people who are contracted to it are killed. Right, so I've brought y'all up to speed. Chihiro had an opportunity to split off and fight one of the main sorcerers. I forget the group name. Y'all could yell it out.
The
Oshaku?
No. Was it the Oshaku?
Koshaku?
What are we talking about? The evil
Something
sorcerers?
like that.
Yeah, the bad guys.
The evil sorcerers
Haku-
are the Hishaku. There.
The Hishaku.
Hishaku. There we go. Yeah, so
The Kamunabi are the
Chihiro's yeah. The Kabanami's like the police.
Yeah.
Sorcerer police. But anyway, Yeah, Chihiro got split off with the sorcerer they're trying to protect. Um, in order to fight like the head Hishaku, not the head Hishaku person, but one of their like generals or whatever, so to speak. So he's doing that, but we start this chapter with a flashback of I guess when oh yeah, it's a flashback of Chihiro talking to Hakuri on the train, and he was just saying how like he basically understands like who the good guys and the bad guys are, and at the end of the day, if the bad guys are in possession of the swords, society will be over. Like such, like shit is already kind of in a bad state in Japan right now. I do remember them talking about that like earlier in the series, but it'll get even worse once these guys are able to take control of these weapons of mass destruction. So we have another quick flashback of Chihiro remembering his father explaining how like the swordsmen were like the real heroes and that they're people you can trust because they put their lives on the line to fight against evil. Very black and white stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that at times. But anyway, the swordsman, I forget his name already. You guys,
Uruga.
Yeah.
yeah, Oruha, yeah. They're him and Hakari are on the train, and they're thinking like, all right, Chihiro's gonna do his thing, but we gotta stay on guard. We on our way to Senkutsuji Temple. So they're planning on meeting up with some people who we see in the next page. They're having a funny little conversation. These guys can't believe that they infiltrated Koku Goku. Yeah, but apparently this next stronghold they're going to is way stronger, or rather, way harder to infiltrate. But I'll get to that a little bit later. So they meet up with these people, the swordsman and Hakuri, and these guys basically draw a magic circle and get transported to the Senkutsuji Temple, where they meet up with one of the other swordsmen, contracted swordsman that they need to protect, and he's blind. Chris and Brian called it. I didn't notice at first. Guess I'm ignorant.
How dare you be?
Guess you're
ignorant.
ableist.
Josh is ableist,
Yes,
everybody. You heard it
that's
here
the
first.
I'm sorry to let you guys down.
You really did.
But I will give him that respect moving forward. I will try to be a better person. So yeah, he says long time no see, which because I'm not ignorant. It's not a joke.
It's a very not funny joke there you made.
Yeah. So yeah, he feels Hakuri's face, and that's his thing. He's he apparently his senses are like super duper sharp except for his sight because he's blind. So he can like smell people, feel people's faces, and remember them by texture. And he actually mentions that he could smell Rokuhira, basically like faintly, and that's because he's been around. Yeah, because he's like, he said this little squirt smells like Chihiro, but he's not Chihiro. And the swordsman, Uruha, is surprised that the blind swordsman knows that Rokuhira had a kid, because that was news to him. And he was like, yeah, I ran into them back in the day. They was at a festival, and he Chihiro and the teleporter dude, can't remember his name right now.
Shiba.
He went to go visit like a little. Thanks. Shiba went to go visit like a little festival, and where they just happened to randomly run into the blind swordsman dude. He fills up Shiba's face. It's really creepy. And he smells Chihiro, who he confuses as Rokuhira. It's a very weird experience, but there's a moment where Chihiro's like, "Oh, I've heard a lot about you. My father always said you guys who wielded the swords, the true heroes." This guy's like, "Oh, nah, tell him he's the hero. All I did was wield the sword." And Chihiro notices how everyone says the other guy's the hero. I guess that's why I'd never be a hero, because I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking hero."
Yeah, I'm that fucking guy.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot about myself in this chapter. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Shiba lets him know that it's creepy to his face, but also lets him know, look, don't let everybody know that as a kid that he's out here. So, that's that. And moving on. Well, I guess like right as the dude acts like, oh, like, what's Chihiro been up to? Like, he tells Hakuri to shush because he can hear like people like intruding, and it's more of these soldiers with the crack rock powers that make them really strong. Kill them. So it's about to be on and popping. And the blind swordsman tells the Ruha, listen, like go chill and get some rest. And another sorcerer, one of the sorcerers that came to meet them at the train, pulls Hakuri to the side and says, listen, like I'm gonna help like heal your ability. Like what's supposed to take days to well, what she says, like what's supposed to take like 3 days to recover, we could recover in like 30 minutes. I was like, oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. That's great.
That's better than the little shit that Chihiro has.
Yeah. He got his arm back though. We thought he was gonna be one-handed for a minute.
Yeah.
For real. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna go through the rest
Remember
of the
that was
series.
the thing.
Hell, he's just gonna be one arm for the rest of the series? Damn.
I was like, yo, this author's a fiend for edge and coolness. Like, what's happening?
But tell me that would have been sick, you know? That would have been pretty fire. For limbs to actually mean something in an anime series.
It would have been way more annoying for him to cut off that other sorcerer's limbs only for him to regenerate. That shit would have sucked. Yeah, and, when they was in the auction house and he ran into the dude with the tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
And he almost had a panic attack. Had he cut his limbs off and they regenerated like they did, and he still had one arm, that would have been really rough.
Yeah.
And it would have been too soon. Anyway, continuing with this chapter. Yeah, so the goons start pulling up. Blind swordsman tells Shaku to take a rest. Hikari's about to get his ability restored in 30 minutes. So she's like, listen, oh, well, never mind. I'll get to that later. So we cut back to Chihiro and the sorcerer. And the sorcerer is talking mad shit. He's like, you have an enchanted blade. You sure you made the right decision leaving them on their own? Uraha and your friends were headed towards Senkutsuji, right? There would be 2 blade contractors without any protection from an enchanted blade. They're quite the target. And they're like, there will be more corpses.
Jeez.
And yeah, I'm gonna save my thoughts for when it comes back around. So anyway, we cut back to Senkutsuji Castle, where Hakuri's like, he's laying down on the bed, and he turns and sees like a huge explosion, and he gets like a PTSD flashback of all those the 4 people on the bench dead. I guess they were definitely dead. That's crazy. And Uraha is like, listen, like focus on the treatment, all right? You know, the security here is several times stronger than at Kokuguku. And it's like it's not because the guards are better. Um, it's because this blind swordsman is here. And basically with him here, like they're invincible. And he'll do whatever's necessary to prepare a counterattack. And you know, Hakuri notices like, damn, like Uroha was really skilled, like with a regular sword, like by himself. So for him to say that like this guy is way stronger than him, like basically imply that he's like way stronger, while using a regular sword at that, like me, you know, must mean he's a fucking problem. So Uroha lets the blind samurai know that he'll be here soon. You know, Chihiro will be here soon with information about Hishaku and that sorcerer's head. And they're like, you know, we just need 30 minutes for this guy to recover so we could teleport the swords. And the guy's like, no worries. As he he's about to light a cigarette and draw his sword. Coolness overload. And that was the end of the chapter. Brian, what are your thoughts? Uruha.
Pretty cool that
Urahume.
pretty cool that Daredevil is now in in this series. That's pretty cool.
If Daredevil met Gorgon.
Yeah, he's cool,
Gorgon's an
quirky.
X-Men character with swords.
So what do you guys think his thing is? Is that can he kind of hear people hearing the sound of the bell or something? Can you imagine that's what it is?
The bell?
Yeah, because they bang the gong and then that's how he knows that shit's going down, right?
Yeah, the people are probably gonna help him with sound cues. And he's been staying at that fortress, right? Like that's been his home. So they probably have like plans and shit.
No, the gong. This guy is doing the gong this entire time. So I think he could just hear them despite the gong. Or maybe he could just hear the guy saying the enemy.
Yeah, wait, so what's the gong for?
I think he's just doing shit. I think it was like a...
He's just fucking around.
No, maybe this is a ceremonial thing. He does this. Like he's just banging the gong because they're at a temple. And then he stopped banging the gong and then he whispered the enemy. And then that's when he was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense.
Damn, he could hear this guy whispering from outside.
Yeah, that was clutch.
But yeah, pretty cool chapter. Lots of build up for this fucking swag ass blind swordsman. I'm really excited to see what he can bring to the table. But yeah, aside from that,
All right, I got a question for Brian and Christian. What on the scale of 1 to 10, where are you rating this blind swordsman's chances of survival?
High.
And meaning absolute death, 1 meaning unscathed.
What is unscathed? 10?
1.
Oh, 1. I think he is 3. I feel like he'll live through this, and you know he'll look cool doing it.
All right.
I think he probably end up dying.
You guys think he's gonna die?
Just because he's the more dependable guy. He's they're making it seem like he's the big cheese in this situation. So
You disappoint me, Christian. You should know your tropes better than that.
No.
Brian called it exactly. He is the dependable one. Therefore, it's a much more dramatic effect if he gets smoked.
The dependable one. That hurt me.
He has a connection to Rokuhira.
When this guy survives, I'll expect an apology from the both of you.
Yeah, you'll get the title
So-
of the Oracle.
No, because I meant, the blind dude is the dependable one.
No. I will expect my apology
No?
when he survives.
My answer is a 10 as well. Death.
You said 10? He's
I don't think he.
That
I
means
don't
you
know. I
means-
feel like there's a chance that he survives.
that means you
though.
think he's gonna get slaughtered.
Oh, all right. So, 7 and above is death. So I'll say 7. Cool death. 6.5. On the brink of death. He'll die later. He'll succumb from wounds.
He'll succumb from wounds. Hmm.
Yeah. He won't be defeated.
Well, I shall be waiting.
Yeah, if he lives, I'll do 20 push-ups.
Oh yeah?
Damn.
While on the podcast.
Oh yeah? Oh man, we gotta wait till the video comes out, because once I get my laptop, we'll do video episodes, because we have to verify that you're actually doing the push-ups.
True.
You will take my word for it?
I have to see it.
I mean, I could turn my video on Discord. You
Hmm.
don't have to record the
That's a
video.
good point. Okay. And if I'm wrong, I'll do nothing. If I'm wrong, I'll do absolutely nothing.
You could give how do I put it? Very generous admittance
I will do that.
for us to call them here.
I will do that. I will
You don't
give.
even have to say you were wrong. You just have to say we were right.
I will say I was wrong and you guys were right.
You'll even add that.
I will. I was wrong,
I'm good
wrong,
too,
indeed,
Brian.
wrong.
Wrong Burgundy.
Yeah, I will.
Oh.
You guys can refer to me as wrong Burgundy for the whole show.
Okay.
You are now
Okay.
wrong Burgundy.
You got to introduce yourself as wrong Burgundy
Yeah.
too from the jump, and we won't even say nothing about it.
I will. I will
Just
do that.
it, and those who listen to the previous is gonna know from the jump, like, oh shit.
So I will refer to
Yeah, now I
myself.
really hope he dies. Damn, I don't really want him to die, but now I do.
All right, whoever is wrong is wrong Burgundy.
So both of us have to be wrong.
Yeah,
Burgundy?
both of you will have
Yeah.
to go. You guys will be wrong Burgundy, both of you.
Yeah,
But every time you say wrong Burgundy, we both have to be like, yeah, and you have to be like the other one.
You have to open up all your thoughts on every chapter saying that you were wrong.
wrong Burgundy here.
Yeah, or you have to say wrong Burgundy. I was incorrect.
Okay, so if he dies,
Let's see who knows their tropes better than.
so if he dies, Christian's wrong Burgundy, and if he lives, me. No,
If
no,
I
no, no.
live. If I'm right,
Fuck.
you guys will be both wrong Burgundy, and you'll have to introduce yourself as wrong Burgundy, and you have to say stay classy, San Francisco,
Wait, let's just that. You're right. Yeah, that's fair.
or San
I'll do
Diego.
all of that. Yeah, anything, any city, right? But that should be clear by the end of this arc, right? Or like, what's the limit here?
At the end of this arc, he has to live.
This arc, right? Yeah, like this little situation, like after the end of the siege of
Yes.
Tenkutsuji.
After they retrieve him and bring him back.
All right. Virtual handshake on that.
If he is alive
I'm shaking
by
my
the
hand
end of
right
it,
now.
you guys will be wrong Burgundy. If I'm wrong and he dies.
This is gonna be my favorite bit of all time on the show.
If I'm wrong, and I will be wrong Burgundy.
All right, fair enough.
You both have to introduce yourselves on the show as wrong Burgundy at the opening.
Not doing no push-ups then.
Fine. But nah, never mind. I'm not gonna wild out.
This nigga's dead, yo.
If you're that certain,
He said with him at
you want to know my.
He said with him at Senkutsuji, they're invincible. Fuck out of here.
You know what I was gonna say?
No, he's dead.
You know what I'm gonna say? As an
What?
additional thing,
Okay.
as and we're not doing this. We don't have to do this. I would be down to do it, but if you guys lose, you have to change your Instagrams to at wrong Burgundy.
What?
For a week.
Nah, not
For a
my-
week.
No, I'm down. I'm down for that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm down for that.
For 1 week.
How about 2 days?
1 week.
Josh,
Wrong
what do you
Burgundy
say?
is actually a really good screen name, to be honest.
So at the top of every show.
All right. So that I'll be like, I'm at wrong underscore NJC.
Yeah. I think because if it's two of you, you have to both have like Wrong Burgundy 01 and Wrong Burgundy 02.
I call all one.
Or I'll be a player 2 ass nigga. That's fine.
So
Those who get that. Shout out to y'all.
yeah, needless to say, the name of this episode will be Wrong Burgundy. All right, so there you go.
Jumping
Bet
again.
we're in. We're locked in now. Oh my god! Imagine he dies in the next chapter.
Ooh, wow.
He just immediately dies.
Epic.
That'd be so fucking funny. All right, who was giving their thoughts, by the way?
Oh, it was me.
I
already
guess
did
you
mine.
were. Oh.
So now it's you.
Yeah, I really like this chapter. I think this was my second place. This guy's really cool and totally not gonna die. One thing I did find funny, I did find the fact that he is to like he just like aggressively touches people's face. Is kind of funny to me. He palms people's faces, which is kind of a fun quirk.
Maximum creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy this character. I think he's fun, and I think he's gonna be really cool. He's gonna show off some super cool moves and survive. And that's my thoughts on Kakurobachi.
All right.
Any rebuttals or anything?
No, sir.
Alrighty then. Let's move onward, shall we?
We call that easy money, GG.
Undead Unluck. Again, I'm gonna toss this
Yeah,
one over to
Undead
Josh.
Unluck. Whoa.
Ooh.
I'll get started then. My bad. Undead Unluck, chapter number 223. Ragnarok. When I first read this chapter, I did not notice the name of the chapter. I think things would have made a lot more sense then, but anyway, last week they got Andy back to the Union, and they rallied around the fact that they was gonna help Julia unlock her injustice so they could fight, against the masterclass rules. Because I guess injustice really like just hard counters them. So that's nice. But that plan got cut short because time started to accelerate for the quest to begin. And that's where we start here. Apocalypse the book yells open the quest. And Andy recognizes that it's like time manipulation. And he's like, yeah, there's one of them I could see pulling that off. And Yeah, he says, if I recall, it's the geezer sitting in the seventh seat. If he's Uma Time, then that checks out. Um, Basically, Andy tells Fuko that he feels like it's this is like a hard attempt to prevent injustice from manifesting. Even if these methods are unorthodox, and with injustice not around, Andy figures that they'll win against us. Fuko's like, damn. She thinking that she should have considered it. That right after they finished, that right after basically she freed Andy, that the master rules would mess with the world and affect us to make it harder for them basically. And as like they're talking, Ragnarok's like 1 month past activating the penalty, Ragnarok, which is basically the penalty for not completing the quest that just passed. And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" Too. Like, wait, what?
I was also like, what, 3?
Right. Like, huh?
We were what cubed?
Was Foucault. Yeah. Um. Then we cut to the moon where Luna is chilling, sipping some tea, and Soul approaches her. And he's like, "Yo, like, what's going on, Luna? Why won't you let us act?" And he pulls out he makes like a soul sword and jumps towards Luna, I guess trying to attack them. And he's like, why, you ask? What do you all expect after having been detained solely by undead? And I was like, ooh. That's a good point. You had one dude holding your back for fucking hundreds of years. I didn't think about that.
Isn't it millions,
Anyway,
like billions of years actually?
Yes, but human civilization's only been around for like a few 100,000 years.
But I thought Andy starts at the start of this. Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, but the master rules weren't like he wasn't holding them back for the whole time. Probably only until like human civilization came
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Anyway, as Soul tries to attack Luna, they're like, "Look, return to being a part of him. I find that way more amusing." And then Soul, like Luna, transformed into this like weird figure with a smile. I don't know, whatever, like a big ghost. And he's like, "Oh, Soul is like, I see from the very start you." And he's like, "In that case, I don't know what he means by that." Then we cut back to the union room. If someone's like, "Yo, Fuko, the 10 superior rules. They have descended on the earth after being freed from Andy. We've spotted pillars of light coming from the locations where they landed. What is going on?" And you can see, like, from the earth, like, all of the master rules are coming back up, like, towards the sun. And they're, like, revolving around God, actually. Because God himself, Ragnarok is pulling up. And Luna's like, "At long last, the time has come. You have all done a fine job, which is exactly why I want you to show me by overcoming him at his best. I want you to show me the true value of the rules unknown to me." And as Fuko sees God emerging with the powered up by the master rules, I guess, she screams out in panic, which was very uncharacteristic. It was kind of funny. Everyone's like kind of looking at her as and he's like, "Yo, like, what are you freaking out for?" They're the ones who are freaking out right now, because they doing all of this extra shit. Like, that's like they only doing this because they feel like they backs up against the wall. He says they busting out their little secret cheats. And he's basically trying to tell Fuko, "Look, it's the foundation you've all laid. Juiz's injustice from the past and us, like right now. It's like the current union. That's what made them do this. And then he's like, "Come on, like let's go." And right at the end, he says that God shoots this blast, I guess from outer space. Oh no, he's all right. The embodiment of God, like the sun thing. I guess comes to Earth, like right to where like the Union is, and starts attacking them. And Luna's like, "Let us begin the final battle for the fate of this planet, Ragnarok," and that is the end of the chapter. Before I pass this on to anybody, this if it sounded hectic while I was like reviewing this, it's because this was a very hectic chapter that caught probably all of us off guard that has been reading this. All right, Brian, do you have any thoughts?
It's cool to see that. Well, this looks like it's the final thing, right?
Yeah,
This is
Oh yeah.
signs of the series ending.
sure does. I do not think there will be a third loop unless it's the last loop when they're all happy.
Man, it took me a while for Undead Unluck's art to grow on me, but it's gotten to a point where wow, this is just actually pretty fucking sick.
Would
this
you say
art-
it's wicked sick?
Yeah, it's wicked sick. But yeah, this art is pretty like it's so odd because Undead Unluck's art is very simple, and that's kind of like the draw to it, you know. And but at the same time, because it's simple, it allows the mangaka to kind of do a bunch of crazy shit on a page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is a pretty cool little chapter. I feel like this is probably one of the best well drawn, like the most well drawn chapters of the series so far, in my opinion. It feels like he finally hit his well, not finally, but it feels like this is at the peak of his artistic skill for the series. So pretty fire. Pretty fire. Let's see how Sean handles this one.
How does Sean get out of this one?
Yeah, how does Sean take care of this guy?
Don't mock him, Brian. He'll be very important.
Where is he? Is he on this final page?
You can't see him because he's unseen.
Hold on. Where is he? No, he has to be here somewhere. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, this chapter escalated quickly. It was the definition of that escalated quickly. Because I thought we were getting ready for a bunch of, like a handful of little arcs. I didn't think that we would get like an arc per master rule. But I thought we'd get like maybe 2 or 3 arcs before they pulled out this desperate final move. And then Apocalypse is just like, you know what? We cheating out here. And then it's like, boom, we're in the final battle now.
Yeah, cheating is the right word.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that like this has always been the thing with the with God and the UMAs and all that stuff where they get backed into a corner and they easily freak out and start sending their biggest guns. I feel like this kind of thing has happened before where we've seen Apocalypse just freak out and do the most.
Yeah, once they start building some real momentum.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we're in the final stage of Undead Unluck. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I mean, honestly, this battle could go for a while. I could see them breaking out some of the master rules to fight individually. But yeah, this was kind of unexpected and pretty crazy. I'm not entirely certain how it feels. Like, I feel like I'm on the fence where I'm like, yeah, are they rushing it or is this just like the natural end that Tozuko wanted? But I guess we'll have to see this execution play out. yeah, I mean, I guess we're at the end game of another series, our third consecutive series in this year alone. So that's pretty nuts. But those are all my thoughts. Josh, what did you think?
Yeah. Like I mentioned a few times already, I was so shocked. In the last chapter, Andy ends it off by saying like, "Oh, this is going to be a speed run," which I thought was funny, and now it's not funny anymore.
It's no longer funny.
No, I don't think that was. I don't think that was great.
You think the editor was like talking to Tozuka is like, hey, that was a great speedrunning joke you made. I think a lot of people found that really funny. It was like, joke? No. This is a speed run.
Then, I'm ready to finish it. Yeah, they're gonna beat God down. Shit is gonna be crazy. This he's not even gonna know what's coming. Soul's gonna do something at the end. He's gonna betray them. He's gonna betray like God and Luna and all of them. Watch.
I see that too.
I want to call that. No stakes involved. I'm just a friendly call.
Yeah, no, I see that too. I agree with you.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, I don't know what's the deal with Luna. It looks like I don't know. It looks like what's his name? Unruin's dad. Called him a piece of crap. He's a
What,
really
Luna?
bad person. Yeah.
Yeah. Luna, his Unruin's dad looked like God more than anything because he was just this like pitch black creature.
Yeah. Luna's just bright white at the same. Don't care about suffering. They just want to be entertained. Damn, is Luna and God like us? Is God like the editors? I mean, like the chopping block. No,
I don't
like
think
at
so.
Shonen Jump, and Luna's like us. We're like, nah. We think this is more amusing. You should do that. Luna's the editor. I don't know, man. Maybe this is something else.
Meta commentary.
Meta. All right, I don't got nothing else to say. I'm pretty tired. This is one hell of an episode.
Yeah, no, me too. Well, with that being said, I guess we could bring it on home then. That was Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, at JDCole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. You could follow the show at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, and also Brian plays video games on Twitch sometimes at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Follow the show at New Jump City. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. And we'll talk about it on the pre-show chat show that we do every, a day after the main show comes out. I usually put up the pre-show. And we talk about a bunch of stuff on there. So, hit us up on that. I hope you guys are enjoying that show. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on there. You know the main ones: Pocket Cast, and Castbox. Check those out.
Check them.
And yeah, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much for hanging. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Bye.